So you decided to start a short-term rental like Airbnb, Vrbo, or whatever acronym you can think of. Congrats, you'll be rolling in passive income and 5-star reviews in no time, right? Hello? No, you cannot cut the tree down to use as firewood. The trees stay. Thank you, enjoy your stay. But don't worry, because I have made all of those mistakes so you don't have to. Let's make your short-term rental a long-term success and talk about the 5 steps to start a short-term rental business. My name is Garrett Brown, and I'm a short-term rental investor from Houston, Texas, and I work for BiggerPockets as the resident STR expert. If you have been interested in STRs or need a little refresher course before your next one, then you've came to the right place. Let's not waste any more time and get into how to launch your first or next STR. But if you do enjoy this content, take a quick second, please, to let us know in the comments, because we do truly appreciate it, and it helps us know what kind of content you want to see coming out from us. And tap that red subscribe button so you never miss a video going forward. Number 1, determine what you can afford and explore financing options. The first step in that is setting your budget and figuring how much you can actually afford. There are a lot of hidden costs that come with purchasing, or if you're even going to be renting a rental arbitrage, such as furnishings, utensils, outdoor amenities, everything above that you're going to have to take care of. Don't forget the ongoing maintenance and utilities. Unexpected expenses are a guarantee, so cushion that into your budget as well. The next step there is you need to explore the different loan options that are even out there. Do you want to go with an owner-occupied conventional loan, or something like a DSCR loan, a debt service coverage ratio loan that is specifically made for investors in short-term rentals? You need to talk to an investor-friendly lender and compare interest rates, compare fees that are on top of it, and at least get 3 different options of lenders to see what the bottom line will be and what you're able to qualify for. The final step in your financing options is your own energy investment. There's going to be a lot of energy going into different style projects. You could buy a cabin that needs a lot of work and fix it up, or you could buy a turnkey rental. These different types of strategies and everything in between is going to involve different time from you as the owner. So think about how much energy you have to actually invest compared to how much budget you have. A lot of times the sweat equity and the cash equity balance out. If you have a lot more sweat equity, you don't have to bring as much cash to the table maybe, or vice versa. The second major key here now is to research what market to go into. You need to understand the demand. Determine whether there's even a short-term rental demand in the area you are looking in. There are tools like AirDNA, Mashvisor, Rabu, and so many more that can give you some insight into what the data may be for just an average place in your area. We all know of the big places, the Smoky Mountains, Joshua Tree, all of these that are extremely popular, but what about some smaller or mid-sized areas that are near you you're interested in? Do your research and use some data to really understand the market you may be interested in. Once you start to hone in on these markets, you need to know what target audience you even want to go after. Places like Orlando are really built for families. Places that are a little more romantic, like Fredericksburg and places like that, they may go after couples or small groups more. You need to know this when picking out your property and thinking about how you're even going to run this business. How do you want to run this business, and what target customer would you want to go after? And the last part of finding your market is know your competition. Know who's succeeding and know what's out there that you need to compete against so you can prepare as you go into each market. Go on Airbnb and Vrbo and see who are some of the top performers in that area. See how many reviews they're getting, see what their cleaning fee is, see if they're charging for pets, allowing pets, see what amenities they are providing. That way you can make yourself more distinct, but then also keep up with what is already being successful in that area. The third step is you have to choose the right property. Once you've narrowed down your market, figuring out what type of property you want to put into that market or even purchase in that market is going to be essential to make sure it's a slam dunk from the beginning. Pick an area that really suits your target demographic. If you're going after families, the closer to the major destination is probably going to work out better for you. The location matters. Pick a property that really fits your location and desire, doesn't have any of the 3 S's around it: sight, smell, and sound. You don't want to look left and see your neighbor that is hoarding chickens and trailers all day. You don't want to smell a pipeline that is nearby. And you don't want to hear maybe engines and trains going by every single night. Paying attention to these 3 S's will make your guest stay way more enjoyable and make your hosting experience way easier. Don't forget the 60-30-10 rule as well. 60 minutes from a major city, 30 minutes from some type of national, state, or regional attraction, and 10 minutes from a gas station or Dollar General. The next section of choosing your property is the actual property type. Hopefully by now you've narrowed it down to some type of market you want to be in, and you can see what are some of the more successful properties that are out there. I always recommend the more unique, the easier it is to market. The more unique, the less equity that you might be able to build into, depending on how appraisers view that property going forward and for your long-term success. So finding that balance between your equity and uniqueness is the sweet spot for STR investors. The last part before choosing your property is you got to check the local laws in that area. This neighborhood that you find the perfect property in may not even allow short-term rentals. My advice is always avoid HOAs the best you can. And if you are going into a place with an HOA, you don't want to be one or the only Airbnb or short-term rental in there. You want to be one of many. There's strength in numbers, so choose properly and check local laws and regulations about the zoning for the property you're looking at. While we were talking about setting your listing up for success, let's set up your real estate career for success in general with the perfect tool for you to landlord like a pro, Avail. You can increase your chances of finding a tenant by getting your rental property in front of millions of eyes on all the top rental sites. You can have your prospects apply online and screen them with trustworthy reports. And then sign your lease and start collecting rent and let your tenants pick how they want to pay. Avail has everything you need to make managing your rentals a breeze. Head to avail.co now, that's avail.co, and get started for free. Now you finally found your property and it's starting to get super exciting and super real. Number 4 is preparing your property and making sure it's ready to stand out. The first step in this is furnishing and equipping it thoughtfully. I would focus on comfort and practicality with a good bit of design in there as well that is eye-popping and that will do well on social media and in your photo listings. Write a great listing description. Do not put 1 to 2 sentences. Give the guests everything they would want to know about your property and make sure you have all the essentials like a stocked kitchen, Wi-Fi, and quality bedding. This is when you can also see what's in your budget to put into more amenities. There are some amenities that can truly bring your occupancy rate to another level. Don't forget about the safety for your guests. Install smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, fire extinguishers in kitchens and other places. This is going to help you sleep better at night, and it's also going to bring those insurance costs down. And the last part is create a standout listing. If you don't take anything away from this video, please pay the $200 to $1,000 or wherever it is in the price range you're looking at for professional photos. There are professionals out there that will make your listing stand out to a whole nother level that you wouldn't even be able to imagine if you didn't have these professional photos. And the 5th step in the way that it actually becomes a lot more automated is develop a management plan. You can find some quality local property managers out there if you're searching and don't want to do it yourself, but I personally think that you need to be pretty ingrained in the day-to-day operations, especially for your bottom line, as you'll save a lot of profit on the back end. You need a property management software that is the brains of your operation. That is when something like Hospitable, especially if you're just starting out with short-term rentals or on the smaller side of hosts, 10 units and under, Hospitable is the perfect partner for you. You can automate guest messages, get financial reports. They have amazing AI technology. The next thing you need to do is make sure you have a rock star cleaning team and handy person available. I would personally give each cleaner a 1 go-round clean before you even hire them full-time. What you're doing is have them come clean the property, see if they show up on time, see if they can follow instructions that you may have, and just see in general how well they do on the property. The cleaners and the handy people of your short-term rental business are going to be the lifeline, so treat them well. Do not skimp on it, as the reviews will definitely let you know if you're being a little cheap in your cleaning department. And on top of that, you just need to figure out ways to ensure an amazing guest experience overall. Do all the extra little things that you would want if you were being a guest in a hosted place. I put out small welcome baskets. I have video walkthrough tours that I provide. I have discounts to local restaurants and activities. I just continually think of ways to improve the guest experience and keep reinvesting back to my property, and it pays off to me. We have tons of great resources available at BiggerPockets to help your short-term rental career, including a brand new weekly newsletter written by yours truly called Bigger Stays. Don't forget to comment below if you've made it this far, and we'll see you on the next one.